So as a father, obviously one of our more difficult things to navigate in our children's lives is when the son and even the daughter comes to places where hormonal issues really becomes a difficulty or challenge in their lives. And all the sexual questions and sexual issues that goes with that. So yes, first of all, hear this clearly. This is the role of a father and a mother. Please never get to a place where you're so disconnected that you don't serve as a voice in their life when these challenges appear. Because this is fact. Sexual and hormonal challenges will appear in every season or in every child's life. That's a place to be in that moment to navigate. So I want to start with little daughters, and I want to start with a father. So one of the first things, the new things in your daughter's life, other than just the physical development that mother will really navigate with them, is that your daughter will start to menstruate somewhere along the line. And so one of the best things that you can do to really create this godly picture in your daughter's life, so that she doesn't feel this new change in my life is dirty and something to hide, it's a secret, but to feel, but this is godly, and even daddy affirms this, is to go to your wife and say, wife, whenever our daughter phones, when she sends the message, that day when she says, Mommy, I started, this is the day when my cycle started, the first time in their lives, you tell your wife, immediately phone me, love, immediately phone me, because I want to rush to the nearest florist, I want to buy a bunch of red roses, I'm going to rush home, and I will be the first one to step through that door when she's home and say, Daddy, want to celebrate your womanhood today. This is beautiful, this is godly. If you start there with your daughter, you will set her on the right trajectory, on the right road in terms of development. In saying that, so same with your son, certain things will quickly change. The physical development, and because of certain hormonal changes, the son will feel frustrated. The son will experience a lot of high testosterone levels, and dad needs to be there to explain. You see, a lot of times there will be a lot of, bumping heads in the home, a lot of confrontation between son and mother and son and siblings because of this testosterone, this new feeling in their bodies. But if dad is there and say, son, you know what? Be alert. Know this. You're going to feel this in your body. You will feel very adventurous. You will feel very brave. You will feel very irritated and sometimes, and even you will feel bouts of anger. But know this. The moment you feel it, this is the development in your body. Take a step back. Pray about it. Find your place of peace and say, but this is, a healthy process in my life. And then re-engage whatever you're going to do. But don't react when you feel it. Rather respond in love, because this is a way you are developing. With the daughters, this is very important for son and daughter to understand. Mother will explain the hormonal cycle, the 28-day cycle. But also the son in the house needs to know exactly what's happening with mother and what's happening to daughter. So, you tell your son, father, you tell them that once a month, every 28 days, mother will go through her hormonal cycle, the menstruation cycle. And you tell your son that 4 days, probably 5 days, will be difficult for mother. So, your son should know when mommy is in that season, we work in a different way in the house.
I will say a short story about myself. I said to myself, Emeka, when you are 24, you go into a relationship. And now, when you are 25, I said when I'll be 25, I'll go into a relationship. And when I'm 27, I'll get married. That's what I said. Now, I went into my first relationship at 25. And along the line, I discovered, no, I do not know how to become a father. Neither am I ready to become a husband. Because this thing takes knowledge. Nobody was born a father. Nobody was born a husband. We all need to learn. And that is where the word needs a father becomes an essential commodity. The COVID-19 had made us understand what is essential and what is not. The word needs a father becomes an essential commodity in every household. If you want to become a father, you need to go through this process. You need to go through these teachings. Because without knowledge, you cannot do nothing. Knowledge is the bank of all information. And the more we start putting this information together, we are now knowledgeable on how to respond to our children, how to engage in open conversation with them. And in 2019, I said to my ex-girlfriend, I said to her, my ex-fiancée, I said to her, listen, I think I am not qualified to be a father yet. Can we call this a quit? And then I came out, and then I said to myself in 2019, I will look for a child that needs a father figure. I will stand as a father to her and practice while I support her. Practice what I learn while I support her. And so I can become a better father when I am ready. And I've come to realize something when it comes to the male, because I have two of them. I have a male and a female, and I stand as a father figure to them. It's easier to deal with the male child. The male child is open to say, yo, this is what I do on the internet. This is how I do it. This is what has been happening in my life. And to the female child, it's almost impossible. I had to break her through gradually by saying, okay, I'm going to get to you through your brother. And now we have this open family conversation, and gradually she becomes open, saying to me, this is how it goes, this is what happens, this is where it comes from, this is how I feel. I even get to understand that sometimes the female, they need certain foods, they don't want certain things that they used to do. This is what they want. They feel they want this, and this is where we now as fathers need to step up and apply emotional intelligence for our female daughters. And say to the female daughters, whenever you feel like this, make us aware so that we are able to give you the necessary support needed for you to not feel rejected when you are on your period.
So when we come in the half time of the cycle, day 14, ovulation time, this is the time that your daughter will have the highest levels of testosterone. In other words, your daughter will sense a sexual drive, adventurous drive. So if your daughter is allowed to date, and she is in this season in the half of a cycle, and she wants to go visit the boyfriend at his house, or they want to go to the movies and they want to leave the house, you say, my daughter, let's invite him over for a braai. Let's do it in our house so that you can be there, that you can enjoy the conversation and just be around to protect your daughter against her own adventure. Because we don't want to run in trouble. So dads, can you hear? We have to navigate the sexual changes, the hormonal changes in our house, so that we safeguard our sons and our daughters.
And sometimes when I want to make decisions for her, I sit with him and say to him, come, what do you think about this information that I want to share with her? What do you think? How do you think she will feel? We start dealing with her feelings. And sometimes I call her, put her on a series of questioning. Tell me the 5 most important things you've ever experienced in your life. Tell me the 5 most influential people in your life. Tell me the top 5. The top 5s, I call it the top 5s. And sometimes we spend 3 hours just questioning. And sometimes she's like, oh, I don't know why all this questioning. And then one day I ask her a question, are you self-aware? She'd be like, yes. And the only way that we got to that point of she knowing that she's self-aware is because I've been able to bring out those questions from her. She has been able to answer those questions. And now she knows who her best friends are, what are the abilities of her friends, how she feels when she's with certain people, what she have done when she's with certain people that are right, what she have done when she's with certain people that are wrong, how she's able to use her past to fix her future, and use her past to stand strong in the present.
You also have to tell your son that all the girls around him will go through menstrual cycles. You have to tell your son that because of the sexual changes and hormonal changes, he needs to be the advocate in the group of friends so that whenever any girl around them reach the time of the menstrual cycle, there shouldn't be any jokes. There shouldn't be any pushing away. There shouldn't be any laughing, but the boys in the circle should step in the gap in protecting the girls and really make sure that they feel safe, that they feel clean, and that they feel honored by the boys. To conclude, I just want to say that dads, if you are really living close to your teenager and you're there, you navigate the emotions, they will turn to you when it comes to difficult sexual changes and challenges and questions. Same with the hormonal things. And that will be your greatest privilege, to be in that gap and to engage in the questionings and the answers. One last thing. your child, your son, your daughter will go to social gatherings. They will go out where they will be surrounded with other genders, and they will come back home. Make sure that you engage those moments when they come back home by asking questions. Say, my son, what did you experience sexually today at the party? What did the girls around you do? What did you see? What did you think? And help them navigate these challenges in terms of pure thinking. Because they probably will have thoughts, but you there to navigate and say, but this is normal, but let's do it this way. You have to ask your daughter, my daughter, when she comes back, how did you experience the boys around you? How did they look at you? What did they ask? Did they push you in a certain direction? And be there to help her to internalize this, to work through this, to come to terms with this, and really protect her purity.
Let them see you as the most comfortable person they can share anything with. And give them the right guidance. Give them the right guidance to grow. Give them the right guidance to know. Give them the right guidance to help themselves self-develop. To help them become self-developing teenagers as they grow into adulthood.